For nearly 30 years, Agscape has been delivering agriculture education to classrooms across the province of Ontario. And we've been really excited to do that. We're excited to continue to do that. This year has been a different one for us with the onset of COVID-19. Since we can't be in the classroom, we're bringing the classroom to the students, and online technologies really offer us space to be able to continue to reach our audiences. There's a huge variety of virtual platforms available on the market. There's a few questions that I think you should ask yourself in order to choose the best virtual conference platform for your audiences. What type of audience am I outreaching to? If you're outreaching to a business audience, you're going to use something a lot different from an education audience. If you're planning to do a conference with over 150 people, you're going to choose something probably very different from if you're going to be just holding a team meeting. What features do we need for the type of meetings we're putting on? So do I need polling software? Do I need the ability to chat? You really have to think about some of those major questions when you're looking into what type of platform you want to use. In terms of ensuring a smooth delivery for your audience during a video conference, you're thinking about some of the same things you would for an in-person meeting. You as an MC are going to be interacting with the audience to ensure that the event is engaging. It's a different type of engagement than in person, and there's ways of doing that. You might need to hop between a recorded video and something that you're sharing live. And those really need to be planned out ahead of time. You need to ensure that you have staff members dedicated to specific workloads for the meeting. For instance, you should have somebody managing your chat window, because you're not going to be able to be doing that while you're speaking as potentially the MC. In addition to that, you need to have somebody running your slide presentation. You also might need to have somebody who is muting everybody and turning the audio back on as needed. There's a number of interactive tools that you can use. The software called Mentimeter, which has a few different types of questions that you could ask. You could do a poll type question, you could do a multiple choice type question. And the great thing with Mentimeter is you can really bring those results up so they'll be able to see what the audience is thinking at that time. What I really want to emphasize here is I think a lot of the time we think that the activities that we're using for young people and students can't be used for business stakeholders or an older crowd. They're just as engaging at any age level.
We can do a lot online. I was skeptical. I was thinking, you can't develop rapport online. Well, actually you can. The more we get used to that and trying and practicing, I think the better, because it's going to be the way it continues. I'm pretty certain of that. There's actually a lot of benefits to virtual meetings. Number one, convenience. It's in your home, you don't have to travel, so you can save money as an organization. Number two, you can accomplish more in a shorter period of time if you have the right agenda and it's well facilitated. The same as any live meeting, an agenda should have objectives clearly stated, and it doesn't need to be all formal, but the purpose why we're meeting is this, right? We want to share some information, we want to get some feedback, we want to celebrate the year we had. An AGM should be, for example, more vibrant like that. Like, hey, look at what we've accomplished in the last year. What are you doing and what do you need to accomplish? Is it just an information only? Then I think 90 minutes is probably your max. But if you actually want to engage the people and have some conversation, there's got to be a valid, real purpose to extending it longer. I think a half a day would certainly be something if it's well planned out. I think there's some great things you can do. One, have people put their camera on. It's the number one thing. It just creates rapport and that feedback. People love to see people, and don't be shy. Number two is figure out actually in the agenda how you're going to engage people. Like, think about it ahead of time and embed it right into the agenda. And I recommend segments being no more than 20 minutes, for example. Like, I have a certain topic, or, say you have a speaker, they're speaking for like 20 minutes, and then you change gears a little bit and say, okay, now we're gonna have a poll or a little quiz, online little trivia, like make it fun and get people engaged that way. Really get a lot of engagement through the chat line. And then if you actually want in-depth discussion and decision making done, then you do what they have as the breakout rooms in Zoom, and it's awesome. But what I'm finding most different with virtual meetings is the need to have fun and just lighten the spirits. Invite people to come early, to get settled in. We want to hear what's going on in your world and in your life. We want to have a little bit more of a social feeling to it.
There is plenty of support out there in the sector from other people who are going through the same experiences as you. This year is a year of partnership, and we need to continue to emphasize that. We need to come together during these times in order to ensure that we can all be successful.